iFollow Latics with the skipper, Peter Clarke. Peter, after the past 24, 36 hours and that game there, just sum up your emotions.
Relieved. It's nice to get a win, and we've come off, and that's a feeling we want on a regular basis. You know, winning games is, when you're playing competitive sport, I don't care what it is, there's no better feeling than winning football matches, and that's a feeling we want on a regular basis around the football club. It's great for us as players, it's great, you know, for the staff, for Richie, for Tony, Carlo and John. It's wonderful for the fans, and it gives a good feel to everyone around the place and a good feel around the town.
What's it like in that dressing room?
You know, we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. It's one game, but it's certainly a nicer place to be than when you've lost the game. You know, lads are jovial. There's a good feeling in there, and although results haven't quite gone as we'd have liked previously, there's a good feeling amongst the group within the dressing room.
What do you think the difference was tonight?
I don't know. Sometimes it's difficult to put your finger on it. It's you know, maybe to everyone outside of the place, the opposition might think they're coming here and they've an easy touch. Well, you know, we're down the bottom of the league. It's tough, but you know, in the face of adversity, people have got to show the true colours. And you know, I think tonight we certainly came out fighting and with a real intent and a real purpose about what we were going to do.
You mentioned before it still is very early on, but does it feel like a bit of a turning point tonight?
Yeah, I think so. You know, the excuse me, the result is obviously the most important thing, but the performance was really good. I know we only found out yesterday morning, and Richie was in the same situation. He's not had a long time to prepare and get ready for the game, but you know, he's spent obviously all of yesterday weighing up what Peterborough do and don't do, and how they play, their strengths, their weaknesses. We were in early today. We had a pre-match, we had a meeting, and you know, Richie was really thorough about the way we were going to play. You know, and he'd left it so as we knew exactly what we were about and what we were doing and how we could exploit them and win the game.
What does it say about the side to go down to 10 men, to score a goal to take the lead, to get that 2-goal cushion, and then to hang on with 8 minutes injury time? What does that say about the character and the spirit?
Well, I don't know where the hell the 8 minutes came from, in all honesty, but that's another issue. The character amongst the lads is second to none. You know, to be pegged back, to end up with 10 men, to be in the situation we were in, where we felt, you know, it was unjust, not right and proper. The character to come back from there and ultimately go on and win the game and see it out in the end was top drawer. The character was fantastic from the lads, and the substitutions, I think, as well. Richie was really, you know, proactive in the substitutions that he made, where he added some extra energy, some extra legs, and although we were a man short and they probably dominated proceedings when we were down to 10, we still had an attacking intent, you know, purpose about ourselves where we could perhaps exploit them on the counter. So, you know, in terms of that, I think, you know, credit to Richie for the substitutions he made and the little change in shape when we went down to 10. But the character of the lads, each and every one of the lads in the side, and the subs as well, was first class. And you know, it does show the togetherness and what have you of the group and around the club.
Throughout your career, you'll have worked with many managers. What's Richie like? I know it's still, you know, 24, 36 hours, but what sort of impression are you getting from him?
He's only been in interim charge, temporary charge for a short period of time, but he's been in and around the club for a good while now. He's very, very enthusiastic. He's really thorough in everything he does. You know, very diligent, and I think that stems back to his footballing background, his education at Manchester United, and the way he was as a player. The way he was as a player, he was demanding of himself and of other people, and that's, you know, certainly something he was wanting to get over to us, that he's going to demand of us for however long he's in the position he's in, be it 1 game, 2 games, or, you know, if he ends up with a job permanently. Richie's going to demand of us. He's going to demand that we demand of each other, and, you know, really want us to police ourselves a little bit. And he's going to be, you know, a guiding hand. But his work up to now, he's been very, very thorough, diligent in his preparation, and he gave us a great foundation to go out and win the game tonight.
Just going back to the game against Peterborough, I suppose one of the major frustrations, Brian Wilson getting sent off. What did you make of that?
I felt it was a very harsh decision. I don't think anyone in the ground doesn't think it wasn't a penalty, but the lad was outside the width of the 6-yard box. He was running at a speed where I'm not sure he was completely in control of himself and the ball. I would like to see it back, but I think I'm getting myself into a position where I can maybe deal with blocking a shot or something. So I think Brian can feel himself really, really hard done by that he was actually sent off. We're not disagreeing that it wasn't a penalty, but the decision to send him off, I think, was a little bit hasty. But, you know, I think Brian, although he'll be disappointed, in one sense he can be very proud of a really good evening's work as well. He performed brilliantly when he was out there.
What was it like playing in front of Johnny Placidi? Made his debut tonight.
Yeah, I thought he was fantastic. I said to him after the game that I thought he was magnifique, and he gave me a little smile. But no, he's a very confident person. He's got a belief in his ability. He's good with his feet. He starts in high positions, so there's not much room for them to play in behind the back 3 or back 4, as it may be. He's a very agile guy, as we saw, coming for 1 or 2 crosses, and his distribution, like I say, I think it was first rate. You know, he can be another player that's can be very proud of his evening's work, and you know, we'll look forward to seeing more of Johnny the Cat in weeks to come.
I think that's going to stick, that nickname you've given him there.
Possibly.
Finally then, a word on the supporters tonight.
I thought they were first class, and I don't think through my time here I could ever say anything different. They've been first class. They've stuck with us. You know, in the face of adversity tonight, as a team, as a football club, as a town, everyone pulled together, and you know, the supporters, I can't speak highly enough of them, and they can be very, very proud of themselves, because the support they gave us throughout, and especially when we went down to 10, was second to none. You know, and we're obviously delighted to win the game. 3 points on the board, move up a position. But you know, for everyone involved with the football club, it's hopefully the start of some positive results and us moving up the league.
Well done tonight, Captain.
Thank you very much, sir.